Welcome back to Pump with Purpose. This is Dr. Diana here, and I am here to talk about the next podcast episode. So I want to let you know a little bit about me. I am Dr. Diana. I'm the CEO and founder of Pump with Purpose. We are a global lactation and postpartum private practice, teaching women all across the world to breast pump through personalized care with the right pump, flange, products, and schedule to increase your milk supply and to change the world one pumping family at a time. So I want to let you know you can follow us on all social media platforms. Definitely look for us on Instagram. You can visit our website to learn a little bit more about us, www.pumpwithpurpose.com. So I also want to talk about today's podcast episode. We are the home of Premier Pumping Consults, where we go through pump, flange, products, and schedule to help you to increase your milk supply. But this episode's a little different. This episode is a little bit about me in a different way. Pumping. Y'all know, if you don't know, I'm here to tell you that I love pumping. I was not one of those people that I despise pumping. I hate pumping. I wouldn't do this every day if I did not love it to the core of my being. I set up an entire private practice helping women all across the world. We have clients on every single continent except Antarctica to date, 2,700 as of we're in March of 2024 right now, and still counting. So it's important to me to let you know that you're in a space and a place that loves pumping. Not only have we created Pump with Purpose to be a safe space and place for pumping, but I love pumping. And I love helping you to figure out your body so you can pump based on your body. But this episode is about me and what pumping has helped me to do. I cannot say enough how pumping has helped me figure out who I am. Not only to do something hard, one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do, minus undergraduate, bachelor's in finance, master's in finance, doctor of public administration, years of corporate America experience, high profile, high scrutiny corporate America, and becoming a mom and actually pumping. I'm not going to say it was hard, as in I just did it, but just to muster through. It was letting me know that I was amazing. My body is amazing as is. And I love being able to help you all day in and day out for you to figure out the same, to build that motherhood confidence that is like no other. So pumping for me has changed my life. It's made me a better mom. It's allowed me to do what's best for me and to have that philosophy wholeheartedly, despite people telling me I wasn't going to be successful if I didn't nurse, despite people telling me that, pumping is not a long-term viable, sustainable solution. And it is all of that. So I'm going to talk to you today about 11 things. I'm going to make it through this without tearing up. Some of the stuff I haven't looked back on in a while. So, I never know what it's going to tell me. But, I always speak from my heart. So the number one thing pumping helped me to do was more my nursing relationship. If you don't know, Pump Life chose me the first time and I chose Pump Life the second time. But the first time around, my son, he is my oldest. He pooped meconium aspirated. Well, he pooped in the sac. He meconium aspirated at birth, which means he inhaled the meconium. His lungs collapsed. He had to be resuscitated, immediately taken to the NICU. I was handed a pump. No one showed me how to use it. And I was there, left, to figure it all out. Handed a kit, and I was just pressing buttons. And so, when he came out of the NICU, it took him about almost 3 days for him to come out. He was discharged from the NICU to my room. While I was still there, we had a 5-day stay. A little bit, they said I could go home on 4 days, but I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to take this little infant home and make sure he's okay, and have to come back to the hospital soon afterwards. I did not want to deal with that. So in the meantime, I stayed in the hospital another day. So with all of that, we discovered in there, I didn't know what it meant what it meant to me at the time was that, we learned that they were telling me that, I think he may have a tongue tie or something. But I was like, I don't know what this stuff means. Not, a little bit hindsight, 2020, my fault, because I didn't do, I took the CPR class, all the things to prepare for baby, except some of the things, that I just was like, I got to pump from insurance. I'm going to be able to nurse. I didn't think anything else. And, it was far from that, that truth for me. And so, I got the tongue tie release for him at 6 weeks. And then shortly after, that he couldn't get back to the breast. I tried for 3 months. It wasn't working. And I was like, I'm pumping a good amount of milk by this time, working on my oversupply, built up the 45 ounces a day. And, it really helped me to get I hate to say it, the closure that I needed to, well, I don't hate to say it. I love to say it because it was my truth, and it is my truth, that nursing wasn't going to be my truth. It wasn't going to be for me. Didn't know it at the time. It hurt because everyone kept making me feel like I was the worst person in the world, making all this milk, and people trying to, you sure you don't want to nurse? You sure you want to try to keep trying. And I was like, eventually, once it was 3 months, I tried. From 6 weeks to 3 months, I put the nipple in his face and he laughed at me. I mean, laughed. And ever since then, I've never tried again to nurse him. My second son, of course, he was born, no NICU stay. And I knew that I didn't want to nurse. I tried it. It wasn't for me. I knew that I at least wanted to try. When this son was tongue-tied, lip-tied, and buckle-tied. And because I went through with nipple trauma, I didn't want to repeat that cycle. So this child... Immediately, I called the pediatric dentist as soon as we were leaving the hospital. Like, I was like, as soon as I knew I was going to be discharged, I was like, oh, I'm calling to get an appointment. Lucky or unlucky for me, it was 2 weeks later. So, we just went on with bottle feeding. My oversupply was there in 6 days. But I knew not to make that mistake again. So I mourned it, and I mourned it. Like, I was just like, Pump Life chose me. It's nothing that I miss. Now on this side of it, it took me 2 years, and Pump with Purpose to, 2.5, over 2 years, and Pump with Purpose, I'll figure that out. But when I'm on this side of it, you need to mourn how you need to mourn, and however long that it takes you to mourn. You need to get that healing, to heal from the trauma that impacted my breast milk. Becoming, being able to nurse from the breast, I had to, impact that trauma. I had to realize, like, my son almost, like, when we went to his pediatrician, I am religious, and God aligns people that are supposed to be in my life. So I went to her, and she was like, you're blessed. And she, everyone that I met in my first journey, when I look back on it, I needed them in that moment. I didn't know why, but I needed them. And so I was like, when she said that, I was like, it put everything in perspective. Like, why am I stressing? My son is here. He's okay. We're going to figure this thing out. But it was trauma there from birth, not being able to have my supply. Didn't have a natural oversupply. It took me 6 weeks to build it. A lot of sweat and tears. Luckily not blood, but sweat and tears. That's for sure. Trying to figure this thing out. Pumping allowed me to provide my baby with breast milk. And on my second journey, tandem pump and provide breast milk for both children over 3 years. It allowed me to see fuller bottles. Fuller bottles make you feel better. I'm sorry to tell you. We'll break the news to you now. Fuller bottles make you feel better. It doesn't matter how full it is, but if you can make the milk you want to make that's from your body, you want to know, you want to see it. That's usually what happens when you're pumping. You want to create a full supply. I want all my milk. I wanted all my milk, and I want you to have all your milk. It allowed me to create oversupply. Oversupply does not always equal full supply. So full supply is how much your body can give you. It doesn't mean for your body that your body can give you. It does not mean that it's an oversupply. Some people, no matter if they've reached their full supply, their storage capacity, it may not be an oversupply. Could it be the tools? Could it be an underlying condition? Could it be the storage capacity? I don't know, but that's what I'm here to help you to figure out. It allowed me to see how much I'm producing as a type A planner and all the things. Like, Pump Life chose me. And when people make me try to be like, oh, those, my heart goes out to exclusive pumpers. My heart goes out to the e-peers of the world. Why? why your heart goes out to me, because I'm good over here. I can see what I'm doing, baby's taking, I can see what I'm producing, all the things, right? Don't feel bad for me. We're good over here. Don't let anyone make you feel like, you're some, like, it's a horrible thing. Yeah, we got to watch a few more bottles, but we're making a bunch of milk and we're saving it and doing what we need to do with it, freezing it, saving it for our baby for later, stopping our pumping journey early so we can do whatever. Feeding other people's babies, going to the NICU, formal milk donation, to the milk banks for the NICUs and others. Is it going to the most fragilest of babies, or donating informally to someone you know, someone you don't know? There's so many groups selling it. Listen, I'm not a judge of how you decide to do what you need to do with your milk. And allowed me to see how much my child was taking in. Both children took in between 30 to 35 ounces a day, and allowed others to feed my children. Their dad, my husband, my mom, his mom, family. Christmas, my first son, he was born in March, and we didn't go home March, April, May, June, probably. We stayed, a little bit because, it was what it was. Like, I can't. We don't live near a lot of families, so it's a 2-hour drive with no traffic. Hint. If you ever traveled through Virginia down 95, you know that it's very few and far between. There's no traffic. So I think we went home sometime over the summer, and a lot of others to help. And when close family came up, second son, he was born in September. We didn't go down until around Thanksgiving. And all of that was with 2 children at that point that are under 18 months apart. It was helpful. I'm not going to be shamed or want you to feel shamed. You want somebody to help. They need to stop acting like the moment you get someone help, it's going to impact every single thing. It doesn't. And when I needed to be separated from baby, it allowed me to. I went back to work both journeys at 4 months. But if I needed to go somewhere, if I needed to run out and get something, it allowed us. I would love to say we had a bunch of date nights, but I'd be lying. Our first date night did not come until years later after the second one. Like that someone else kept them or whatever. No, I'm telling a tale. We've had someone to come up a little bit for our anniversary. One of our anniversaries we did after my second son was born. Yeah, second son was born. So I be telling a little, sometimes I forget, like, it all runs together. But the one that, like, we left them and, like, went, away for overnight stay was years later. But it allowed me to be separated and still have milk to leave with notes, because that's how I do it, with the note. And allowed that as well. And then importantly, it allowed me to return to work with minimal impact. For me, with my families, most of our families, they either exclusively pump or add pumping to their nursing journey. And if it's up to me, I'm not going to tell you any tales. Unless you really, really want to, we're going to encourage you not to wait till you're going back to work and stressing, trying to make enough milk. We're going to come together with a plan that is with minimal interference with your life and what you want for yourself. Like, because you can't be like, I don't want to pump really, but then I want an oversupply. Like, I want a bunch of milk. They don't go hand in hand. So we work with our clients to figure out, do you want something for a rainy day? Do you want, a bag or 2 or so a day? Do you want as much as your body can give you? Hint. It just depends on what you want. And you get to decide that. I don't get to decide that. I just help you to develop plans to signal the milk, and then let your body do the rest with the right pump, flange products, and schedule. So regardless of how you want to and how much you want extra, it doesn't matter to me or to the Pump Purpose team. It's about you and what you want based on your goals, preferences, and lifestyle. I'm hinting at, we give about 3 plans. Something for a rainy day, hint. About a bag or 2 or so a day, hint. And as much as your body can give you. And there are several plans within that that we would discuss. And you got to be able to handle it and manage it. Some people are like, I want as much milk as my body can give me. And then when they realize how much that takes, they're like, I want just a decent, or just want to, they determine what they want, and we can signal it back. Not everybody, unless something is wrong, most people are not like pumping around the clock if you are nursing. And if you're pumping, we're pumping around the clock, because if you were nursing and you're exclusively pumping, if you did nurse, you would still have to pump. I was talking to someone today, and I was like, they were like, I got to pump around the clock. And I was like, you got to nurse around the clock too, sometimes even more. So it's just a real preference of like how you frame the message, how you support that is what's important to me. So just want to provide that context. And I would love to know if, leave a comment if you made it this far into this of, how has pumping helped you to overcome your journey, whatever you're dealing with, whatever you're going through. How has pumping helped you? I would love to know. If you would like our assistance with helping to create a personalized pumping plan, to increase your milk supply with the right pump flange products and schedule, to manage your oversupply, to stop pumping in pain, to find the right flanges, pumping products, get on a schedule that's more conducive if you're exclusively pumping or adding pumping to your nursing journey, we would love to help via a Premier Pumping Consult. You can visit our website, www.pumpwithpurpose.com, and you can go to the consult page to learn all about Premier Pumping Consults here at Pump with Purpose. So, this is Dr. Diana here. Until next time with Pump with Purpose.